students, Sairam, this is Megha Miss here, and today we are going to start with a new lesson, that is lesson number 3, current electricity. Okay students, now last presentation we studied the last part of lesson number 5, that is acids, bases and salts. I hope you made a note in your notebooks of science A, all the questions which I told you to solve in your books in the last presentation related to concentration, okay, calculations of that. Okay, I hope you are solving it. Yes, now today we are going to start with a new lesson, that is current electricity, and this is our session 1. Okay student, now here today's it is an introductory part which some of the concepts you have already studied in your previous standards. So we will just see what is electricity, is it important in our day-to-day life, and some of the concepts which are related with this current electricity. Okay, now when I am starting this chapter students, I am going to teach you only those parts which are this year included in your syllabus. Okay, as you know 25% reduction is there in your portion. Only those parts I am going to teach, so please go through the video. Whatever part I am not teaching you, you can mark in your textbook, so that it will be, if you have the textbooks you can mark it there, so that it will be easier for you, that when you will study you will not study that part for this year. Okay students, so there is some of the parts from this chapter have been cancelled out, so I am not going to take that parts. Okay, so shall we start with this lesson today? Okay, we are going to start with the first concept which we are going to see about the electricity. Okay student, so see here. So electricity is of utmost importance, you know student. Yes, in the modern world we depend on it for almost everything in our day-to-day life. Yes, you are using electricity every day. Yes, we are using. Yes, in order to avoid the inconvenience faced due to failure of power supply, hospitals, banks, offices and private institutions make alternative arrangements with the help of generators. This you know. Yes, electricity is used for running electric furnaces, electric motors and several other instruments used in industries. So various places we are using electricity. Starting, if you take an example of yourself, yes, you yourself use the electricity every day. Now for example, you are watching this presentations on your mobile phone. Now your mobile phone need to be charged. Yes, you need to charge the battery of the mobile phone, and that you can do it when you are using a charger and it has to be connected to the power supply, right? Power supply means through the electricity only you can use that power to charge your battery. Yes, and then you can watch these videos by charging your phone. Yes or no? So small things every day, whatever you are doing, some or the other way the electricity plays an important role in your life. Okay, so not only human beings but also animals also use electricity. For example, fishes such as eels use electricity to catch their prey. Prey means here their food, okay, and also for self-defense. So they are using electricity, okay, to do these things. The lightning that strikes the earth is an excellent example of natural flow of electricity. Okay, I hope you remember the 8th standard chapter where we have studied about the positive, the charges and all, and we have studied about this lightning also, lightning conductor you studied. If you remember, please, if you have 8th standard textbook, go through this part. Okay, so the lightning that strikes the earth is an excellent example of the natural flow of electricity. So naturally also the electricity is flowing in our nature. Okay, and how this eels they use this electricity, it's an assignment for you. You are going to find it out. Okay, that how this fishes eels they use the electricity to catch their prey and for self-defense. Okay, we'll start with the next part. So the first part in the chapter we are going to study, that is potential and potential difference. Now students, this is 3.1 diagram I have just included to make you understand, but this activity is not there for you. Okay, for this year, so you are not going to study that activity. We'll just use it for our explanation. So I have used that diagram, it will make you better understand. For the generation of electricity, water is released from a dam at a higher level, and because of gravity, it falls to a lower level. You know, in the dams, water is released from the dam, which is from the higher level to a lower level, and because of gravity, it is pulled to the lower level. Okay. Thus, as we know, the direction of the flow of water between the 2 points depends on the level of the 2 points. Yes. So, how will be the direction of the flow of water? Okay, you can't hold the water and change its direction. Yes. So, how it will depend? It will depend. Okay, so the direction of water between the 2 points depends on the level of the 2 points, at what level they are kept. Okay, this level, what I want to make you understand, can you see I have taken the 2 bottles. Okay, one I have kept at a higher level and one I have kept at the lower level. Okay, now I have put a clamp in between. Can you see? Okay, stop, like to stop the flow of water. So when I have put the clamp, see the water level, see this water level and see this water level. Okay, now next what I am doing is I am removing that clamp. So can you see now water level of this, which is at the lower side, the water level in that beaker, or you can say not a beaker exactly, if you use a beakers, usually in the lab we do it with the beakers, here bottles you can say. So here see, the flow of water is from this way to this way. Okay, why? From the higher to the lower. Always remember, the flow will be from the higher level point to the lower level point. So see, from this level has come down and this level has increased. Okay, did you understand this? Okay, now we'll move to the next part. So just like water, the flow of electric charge also, yes, between 2 points depends on the kind of electric level at those points. So it will also depend, same way how the water is flowing, electricity will also flow in same way, but it will depend on the kind of the electric level at those points. This level is called the electric potential. What you will call, student, it as electric potential. Okay. A positive charge flows from a point of higher potential to a point of lower potential. We have seen earlier that electricity flows due to conduction of negatively charged electrons. You know this, electrons are responsible for the conduction of electricity. Yes, you have studied. Electrons flow from the point of lower potential to the point of higher potential. Yes, students, remember the difference. Positive charge, okay, how they will flow? They will flow from the higher potential to the lower potential. But students, if you take the electrons, which are negative charge particles, they will move from the lower potential to the higher potential. Okay, these are the important points to remember. A lightning strike is the flow of electrons from the point of lower, that is negative potential, on the clouds to the point of higher potential on the earth. Okay. The difference between the values of the potentials at point A and B is called the potential difference between them. Okay. So if whatever the value difference will be there, that value difference between the points A and B is called the potential difference. Okay, students, did you understand this? Okay. Now in the figure 3.2, can you see the figure 3.2? Yes. Conductor A is at a higher potential than conductor B. This I have kept. See here, this is my conductor which is at the high electric potential. This is at low electric potential. Okay. When these two are connected by a conducting wire, can you see this conducting wire is there? Yes. A potential difference is created. Of course, a potential difference will be there between its two ends, and the electrons will flow from B to A. How the electrons will go? Can you see this? Electrons are here, minus is written. So like this they will move to A. Okay. Did you understand? Now see here. Also see here, it is written stand with insulating covering. Okay. Stand with insulating covering means stand will not take part in this conduction. Okay. Now This flow will continue until the two conductors A and B have the same potential. So till what time this will go on flow of this electrons? Till both A and B have the same potential. That is until their potential difference becomes 0. It should become 0. Okay. Only then will the flow of electrons stop. Okay. Work has to be done, okay, against the electric field to take a positive charge from a point of lower potential to a point of higher potential. Okay students, so how work you will calculate here? Work has to be done against the electric field. What is the work done here students? Positive charge traveling from a point of lower potential to a point of higher potential. Okay, that will be your work done. Okay, now see here, the next part we will see, that is the potential difference of a cell. Now what is the potential difference of a cell? The difference in the potential between the positive and the negative terminals of a cell is called the potential difference of the cell. Now you know the cell has got a positive terminal and a negative terminal, and the difference between that values, positive and negative value, we'll call it as the potential difference of that cell. This potential difference is caused by chemical reactions occurring inside the cell. Hope students, 8th standard, you have studied different types of cell, dry cell, and it's, how it looks, how it is made, how it is working. You have studied this. So this potential difference is caused by the chemical reactions. You have also studied that some chemical reactions takes place. Yes, please open 8th standard textbook and go through. Okay, if you have it, please. Then by chemical, or we have given you that one link also where you can get all state board textbooks. You can download from there. From there you can download 8th standard textbook and you can go through. Okay, the potential difference sets the electrons in motion and results in the flow of electricity. So who does the potential difference? Okay, it will set the electrons in motion, okay, and results in the flow of electricity through a conducting wire. You need a conducting wire, okay, connected to the two ends of the cell. Okay, you know, we conduct it connected to the two ends of the cell, and then only the conduction will take place. Okay, now the amount of work done to carry a unit positive charge from a point A to point B is called the electric potential difference between the 2 points. Okay, if I have to carry if I want to calculate the work especially, then the unit positive charge, whatever the positive charge is traveling, okay, from the point A to B, is called the electric potential difference between 2 points. Okay, I am talking about the positive charge which is going to flow, okay, not the electron. Now potential difference between 2 points, it will be work upon total charge transferred. So work, you know, you write it as capital W, charge we write it as capital Q. Okay, so 1 V, that is 1 volt, is equal to 1 joule of work done upon 1 coulomb of charge. Coulomb is the unit for charge, we write it as capital C. The unit of potential difference in SI system is volt. This you will remember. Okay, now I hope you can see this diagram also. What are free electrons? We are going to study from this diagram. This is the diagram for the free electrons. Okay, now you know atoms. Okay, if I take this atom, a single atom is any, okay, hydrogen, you take any of the atoms. Okay, yes, you know that there are we show the electronic structure using the electrons, spread of electrons, right? Now conducting wires are made of some metals which are good conductors. Okay, now for example, I take copper. Copper is a conductor of electricity. Copper conducts. Yes, so what if I take a single atom of copper? You know, it has got a nucleus and it will have some electrons also. Yes, in the last orbit also there will be some electrons. Okay, and that electrons which are present in the outermost orbit, we will call them, you know, they are valence electrons, right? They can be given, or copper can take it and become stable, but those electrons are only responsible for the conduction of electricity. Okay, and we call them as free electrons. Okay students, now see here what happens. Now what is happening? The single atom we have taken, you have the nucleus and the electrons. what they will do? See, can you see here? If many atoms come like this together, what will happen? Weakly attached outermost electrons. Outermost electrons will be weakly attached, okay, with each other, okay. And what? Free electrons move freely from atom to atom. If these are the blue color atoms are there, this single, then electrons can move from here to this atom, from this atom to this, from this atom to this, and they will help in the conduction of electricity. Okay students, did you understand this? Okay, we'll move to the next part. And it should be a conducting solid, as I am telling you. Any atoms of any elements you can't use. You have to use the elements, or I can say you have to use such metals which are good conductors of electricity, and their atoms I am talking about. Okay. So what are free electrons, students? Every atom of a metallic conductor has one or more outermost electrons. As I told you, it should be a metallic conductor, okay, which are very weakly bound to the nucleus. Means attached to the nucleus, whatever its force with what it is attached with the nucleus, it is very weak, okay. These are called free electrons. As shown in the figure, you saw now 3.3. These electrons can easily move from one part of the conductor to its other part. The negative charge of the electrons also gets transferred as a result of this motion. So negative charge is also getting passed from one to the next because of this, okay. The free electrons in the conductor are the carriers of the negative charge. You will remember this, students. Yes, the free electrons in the conductor are the carriers of the negative charge, okay. So we have come to the end of today's session, students. We studied about importance of electricity. You saw, yes, electricity is very important as we are using it every day. Yes, next you saw the potential and potential difference. You saw potential difference of a cell. You saw, and about the free electrons which are there in the metal, okay, metallic, you can say the metallic behavior it is, okay, having a free electrons, and hence they are helpful in the conduction of electricity. Okay students, I hope today's part is clear to you. We'll meet in the next presentation with the next part of this lesson. Okay students, take care. Sai Ram.